Hey everybody, what's good? It's your girl Nikki Sparkle coming on here real quick, like gonna say what's on my mind real quick before I get ready to get ready for bed, and then I'm going to binge watch Lovecraft Country. Something about that is just telling me to watch that right now. I don't know why. Like, I watched it before. I think I've probably watched it twice, but like, you know, like how you like in different stages of your life, um, you going through different things. Like you're like, I don't know. I want to know like at this stage of my life, like what resonates to me in that movie now, because like, I think before my idea of spirituality was pretty generic, and it's not as generic anymore. So I just wanna, I got this wig from the beauty supply store. It's so cute. I love it. I love the color. I love the color. But not like that. I don't know what that is. I don't know, but it came off the mannequin, and the problem with that was it was the last one, but it's the only color that they had, so I wasn't giving this up because baby, she is so cute. So I got a discount though. But my message is for always. It's always about, my message anyway. Always gonna be about the ladies, okay, the women's uplifting, building up our women's. And I want to talk about, because like I sometimes like I hear women in different spaces talk about how they feel like they don't have nobody guiding them, like certain sometimes single moms, or maybe I don't know, women at different stages of their life or whatever, and they talk about like how they feel like they may need a man, or like they don't have like a man leading them, and a lot of that stems from patriarchy belief. You know what I mean? Thank you. Welcome. A lot of that stems from patriarchal belief. You know, the man everything. And we need to really understand that besides what patriarchy teaches, all life comes from women. I'm doing great. Miss Veronica, I'm doing great. How are you? Where you at? What you doing? How's your day? Like, seriously? All life started with women. Thank you, girl. Got this from the beauty supply. Like, it'd be so hard to find you a good wig. Like, literally, it'd be so hard to find you a good wig. And when you finally find you a good wig, you have to really appreciate it. And I have another one. I'm gonna do another one. It's like black. It's so cute. Don't you think men and women should be codependent on one another? I don't think anybody should be codependent on anybody. Like, I don't think nobody should be codependent on anybody, because, like, I think we need to be codependent on ourselves. I think we need to depend on ourselves individually. That's what I think. We need to depend on each and this stage of life, at this stage of life, at this stage of time. Like, you have like different time periods. You got like the 60s, the 1800s, like the AC, the BC, the 939, like all of that. We're in a stage right now. This message is held for review. Hi, Miss Michelle. All of those time periods are different. We're living in this time period right now. Like, we're living in this time period. We're living in 2026. Like, we have influence from different time periods, but this is it. This is where we are right now. We can take what we had in the past, we can apply it to what we have now, because that's really all that we can do. You just apply it to right now. We can't apply nothing else to We can't be like, oh, why isn't it like this? It's not going to be like that. Like, it will never go back to the 1940s. Like, it'll never be like that. So we can complain, and we can always complain about, oh, well, the man couldn't be out the house, that he got kicked out and she got kicked out, and the slaveries and all of these things happen, but that's not happening current today. So since it's not current today, since we are so easy to get hooked on the internet and things, I'm just hoping that this message hit the person that it needs to hit, or whoever, whatever, whenever. You ain't got no control of that. You can only control your reality. But that's why I say women have always been in leadership. Women have always been in leadership. Always. Because life started with women. Everybody came out of a woman. Now, if you want to go the biblical way, which I'm not here to do, but if you want to go the biblical way, all life started with women. Now, I ain't finna get into all of that because I ain't got time for that. I don't have time for all that. I'm not getting involved in all of that shenanigans. But women, I just want to say that women have always been in leadership, and this message is really like, okay, so women that feel like they need that guidance from a man. No, you don't, because you're already doing it. You already do not have a man. If you're already doing it, and you already don't have a man, and you're already doing it, and you're just kind of just like, it's just bothering you that you don't. I want you to focus the energy on, damn, like I'm actually doing this. Imagine if I did have someone. It would be great. That would be wonderful. That would be an add-on. But you don't right now, maybe. I don't know. And if you don't, and you feel lost because the weight of the world is on you, because it's only you raising those children, it's only you, then yeah, like I understand, but a man is not going to solve any of that. Usually, he make it kind of worse. I want one of those little swoopy things. Oh God, I don't know if my forehead is for that though. Like, I don't think so. I don't think my forehead is for it. Maybe. Oh yeah. Shoot. I don't know, but like, we've been in leadership. We've been running it. We've been leading the way. That's why they cut that part out the Bible. Like, they cut like out like when Jesus was getting raised and all that type of stuff. Like, they cut out like what type of child he was and all of that. Like, cause basically Mary was running that, and they didn't have no other explanation. Like, whatever was happening had to be like what was happening right now, and they just did not want to put that out into the world. This is the problem with this being the beauty supply wig. The problem was with it getting it off of the mannequin. It was in this state, like it was in this poor state, but it's still giving, darling, I just can't take it anymore. I'm cutting up on this live. But anywho, women have always been in leadership. Like I said, they've always been in leadership. I'm gonna continue to do it too. That's why, like, everything is like, okay, this is a little separate from this video, but I always tell people, like, when people start talking about what's going on, like in the media, things that don't serve my purpose, or things that don't live like in my like immediate like reality, I'm like, I don't know what y'all be talking about. If it ain't got nothing to do with no kids, I don't care. I don't care, because it's usually some BS. So I just like hearing about the good stuff. Oh, I'm sorry. Then how can our species continue if we live separately? Because there's always going to be somebody that wants to do it. That's not going to stop. Y'all men do not have to worry about sex stopping, okay? Like, it's not going to stop. Because we know. That's why I said women have always been in leadership, because we don't care about stuff like that. We don't ask questions like that. So what's going to happen if we stop having sex? Like, oh, what happens if we don't live with a man? We don't ask questions like that. That's why we've always been in leadership. But to answer your question, people are going to keep doing it because that's what people want to do. That will never stop. You don't ever have to worry about that. So, I'm just finger coiling through this, and we're finger coiling through this together. Woo, baby. And I like how on the side, like how it does this. So yes, women have always been in leadership. We're gonna continue to lead. I hope that I'm not gonna ever be here to tear down nobody. I do have my slight opinions on things though. That's kind of giving too. I don't know what that's giving, but it's giving something. I have my opinions about it too, a little bit. Like, um, how we carry ourselves sometimes. But at the same time, it's like I'm not here to judge. I'm not. That's not mine. There's some people that are here to judge, apparently. So like whoever those people are, I guess like they doing their job, child. Like do your job. But for me, that's really not my job. It's really not my job. Aren't you following double standards by saying that on one hand you say life started with women, and then on the other hand you said continue? Okay, so I believe that life started with women, but do you know how many other billions of people believe that that's not how it started? They believe that God, and that's how life started. There's so many people that believe that. So that's not up for debate right now. I'm just saying that after happened, then started happening. And it didn't stop happening. Like it wasn't two breaths. It was two breaths. No, it was one breath and a rib taking. So after that, it was just women giving birth after that. And I'm saying that you said, how is the species going to continue if we live separate? I'm saying people can live separate because we don't like I'm explaining before, we're not in the time period before. We're not back in the past no more. We're somewhere different. We're somewhere completely different. And right now, people have been heavily indoctrinated to believe a lot of weird stuff, a lot of unnatural things. We're not doing a lot of stuff that's going to natural accordings. And what's natural, we don't know no more because we wasn't there. Number one, we wasn't there. We don't know what was natural. We can only go by what people's opinions of what they thought was natural. So I'm saying to live a little smoother and just accept the truth and the biochemistry and the matrimonial affairs of the truth, baby. Women started this, and we're gonna finish it. That's just as simple as that. This is how it's just gonna go. There's no. People can separate for a time. There can be a separation. There could be a time of separation. Men need to learn how to treat women. Are you kidding me? Men need to learn how to treat women. Women need to learn how to treat themselves more so. I'll say that. Women need to learn there needs to be a separation so that women can learn how to treat themselves so that they can be an example of how they're supposed to be treated. Every woman on the planet walking around here is supposed to be treated like a goddess. And not in no patriarchal sense. When I say that, we're not talking about a little man who was wrote in the Bible someplace and said that you were supposed to be the head of the castle and whatever you say goes. That's not what we're talking about. Womenarethebomb.com. This is how it is. If things would run smoothly if women just was allowed to do what they want without the patriarchal judgment. Like something I have an issue with, another thing that doesn't really have anything to do with this video, but shoot, while we talking about it, like why are men doctors? Why is it allowed? Like, I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to ask why because it's always been that way for obvious reasons. But why do men need to be doctors to women? Why do women? I don't understand that because I don't get that. What's the role of men and women in society? What role do they each of them have? To be whatever their purpose is, to lead by a good example, to do good, to stop pedophilia today. That's what men and women's roles today is to stop pedophilia. That's what it is. Once we stop pedophilia, once we rid that single demonic entity, I think that a lot of stuff will run smoother. Don't you think? That's what I think the role of men and women are. I don't think the role of men and women are to be arguing over who's paying bills and who's cleaning up and who's whatever. The argument should be why are there not laws for pedophilia? Because people love having sex and creating children, but there's no laws to protect any of those children. So that is what I believe. That's what Nikki believes. the role of men and women are today. And I'm speaking on behalf of the women who are in leadership, who believe what I believe in. Like the type of women that have always been leaders, we've been on that. We've been like off with their heads. And we ain't talking about these ones up here. We're not talking about those. So I'm really getting into this wig. My earrings. These are so cute. So I'm definitely giving rich auntie, you know, which I am a rich auntie. Leadership, you know. And not all, let me say this too. Not every single woman on the planet is meant to be for leadership. However, women that choose to be like mothers, women that are making choices, like we need to make better decisions as far as like when we're deciding to become parents. Like the questions that this person is asking, like these are so surface level, like they have nothing to do with anything right now. Like those things have nothing to do with anything. Like we're trying to figure out, like right now, people are concerned about having children and how society is going to stop. You know how many orphans there are around the world that need parents? Meanwhile, we got a bunch of people arguing over the dumbest stuff. And that's why I don't live there. I don't live there. Like, when all that world that those people live in, where all of that chaos and whoremongering is going on, child, I don't live there. But when I look at it, and when I have to go there, and I say, what are we supposed to be doing while we there? Handling business. We supposed to be getting it together. But a lot of people get tripped up. They get caught up in it. They get in there, and then they just like, they get caught up in it. It's one big Diddy party. Now R. Kelly is at the front door bouncing. Funded by, ooh, let me stop. What do you think? What do y'all think though? Women, because like we know, like every woman is not meant capable for doing certain stuff. Like some people, you know, they got other stuff going on. Some people come here, they go through their experiences. I'm not here to judge anybody's experiences. People have different experiences. Some people come here, you know, they missed the message, and you know, I don't know, you know, whatever happened. Can't really control that, but it is what it is. And then some people are here and they're on their mission, and some people are here, you know, I don't know. I think there's a whole bunch of stuff going on, but the main thing is like we're supposed to be doing the right thing that feels the one that feels, you know, right. Like when you put it on your, like, you know, like when you was learning how to put your shoes on the right feet. That's what right and wrong feels like. You know, you ever put your shoe on the wrong foot? I know we're going to have some crazies out there. Well, I like the way it feels on the wrong foot. And that is what you call a ripple in the effect. That is what you call a glitch in the system. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and just say that though, like, women, get it together. Main thing is protect your children. Women need to protect their children, and women need to stop defending and protecting pedophiles and you know, those type of people, offender type people, offender behaviors. Women need to stop you know, doing that. A lot of that starts with some of the music that we listen to. You know, some of the music that we listen to, just in general, you know, lifestyle changes, mainly lifestyle changes, protecting your children, number one, keeping them away from people that you know that they ain't got no business being around, sacrificing, you know, if you decided to pull through with the whole process of, you know, birthing the child into the world, you become responsible for that child, that said child. Yeah, so since you made that decision to carry out the process, to go through all of that, to go through all of those body fluid changes, honey, that's an investment. You might as well get into it. You might as well go ahead and do your big one with that, because other than that, then you just wasting the people's time. Definitely wasting the people's time. So this ain't on here to just, I would never come on here to be like, we're gonna talk about the whatever, because there's so much. There's many channels for people for different stuff for that. I don't have time for that. What is the role of men and women in society? What role do they have? Wait, aren't did I miss something? I don't know. I think I missed something, because I think I answered that question already. So I don't know. But yeah, but I'm getting ready to binge watch Lovecraft Country. I'm trying to decide if I should wait to have some wine until tomorrow, which I probably should, because I've been exercising, eating healthy, and tomorrow's gonna be my cheat wine day. So it's probably best that I wait until tomorrow. I just don't even trip like that. But I'm gonna go ahead, just finish up my laundry. I'm gonna watch Lovecraft Country. Gonna have to undo my masterpiece of hair and everything. Well, actually, I won't do the undo masterpiece, because I'm gonna try on this other wig. Like, I really want to try on this other hair, but I'm just gonna save a video for tomorrow, because I have a whole new look for that one that I'm gonna put together for the other wig that I'm gonna do. Yes. I don't know if I'm gonna wear this tomorrow though too. I might. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. Cause baby, I love her. But women, straight up, seriously though, like on a serious note, it's like highly important though. Like we need to start moving with a lot more discernment rather than selfishness and all of that. Like we will. Everything is not about money. Everything is not about money, because money is not real. It's not real in a sense where you have to submit your life over to it. And what I mean by where it's like everything that you want, you can have, but you have to work for it in due time, and you have to wear the correct pair of shoes also while you are working towards and waiting for it. You understand? So that you don't put the wrong shoe, you don't put your left shoe on the right foot, etc., etc. Because you'll get people like, oh, well, you could do it this way, or you could do it like this real fast. That's how you become corrupt. When you're trying to rush and do something, when you're trying to, when you're in survival mode, and you don't have to be in survival mode. It's 2026. You don't have to be in survival mode anymore. You don't have to be in survival mode anymore. This is 2026. You can live a different way. You can use the internet. The internet you can use in so many different ways. You can get inspired to do so many different things. You do not have to be in survival mode. And that's for both peoples, you know what I'm saying? Men and women. But mainly I'm talking to the women. We don't have to live in survival mode because we've been in leadership. We've been in the position to make this hierarchy decision no matter what. Even though like they lied and all of this stuff happened in the past. Like now we know like we're in control. It's our body, it's our choice. We are in control of everything. We know that with intercourse comes the possibility of being pregnant unless you don't have any reproductive organs. So if that's not the case, I don't know, that's a whole nother subject, but let's just keep it general, so I won't get all over the place in my head, Lord have mercy. But like we gotta move with discernment. We can't be out here oh, I want a baby. I just love the way they smell. Like, I be wanting to slap people sometimes, like when I hear stuff like why people want to have children. And this is coming from someone who had children young, and I honestly thought that was just the way that it is. Like, I mean, pretty much everybody in my family was a teen mom, literally. Even my auntie, my oldest auntie, who she was married before she did have her before everything went down, but she was like 19 when she got pregnant. She was married though. She got married when she was 18. I don't know if she got pregnant there, but everybody was a teen pregnant. So I just really honestly thought that it was something that we were just supposed to do. Lead by, that's what they, people do as I say, not as I do. Like, but shoot, that's kind of hard. That's why I say women need to lead by example. Because a lot of they're watching us. They're not watching them. They're watching us. They're watching how we look, how we dress. And let me be very clear. I think women should be able to dress however they want to dress. That's what I believe. I believe that women should dress however they want to dress. However, I feel like women, since we are in leadership, I feel like we should be able to camouflage wherever we're going. We should be able to camouflage wherever we're going. We should be able to always dress for the occasion. And whatever you're feeling, wherever your heart's desire is, you should always be able to go find a space to dress that way too as well. So some people like to, they like dress like a hoochie mama. I have my hoochie mama days, and I get dressed up like that and I take photos and I post them on the internet because that's what the internet is for. Well, one of the reasons why. So it just all depends on what you want. And then I always do feel like we should, depending on like when you're going out, it's a little secret of mine. Okay, ladies, like I like to blend in. Like when I'm out, like if I'm not out handling like some business, okay, or if I'm not, trying some new makeup or something like that, like you're not gonna catch me out in public, like all dolled up and glammed up. Like I'm not. I'm gonna be very much blending in, regular schmegular. I won't wear no bonnet. And I don't know. Like I guess I don't know. One time I was at the airport and it was this whole another video. Anyway, leadership, women. Y'all know what's up. Come on, you ain't gotta be dressing all crazy when you go pick up the kids from school. You're gonna know you're finna be around elderly people who don't look like that no more, and they might feel some kind of way. Have some discernment, have some concern, because you're in a leadership skill. You're in a leadership position, and when you're in a leadership position, you need to be according too, But that's a skill to be able to morph between social settings like that. That's a skill. I can go to the hood. I could go to the rich side of town. I could go into the office. I could go to the wherever. It doesn't matter. I could fit in. And when you're able to do that, that's a leadership skill. It most definitely is. And I think that certain people be jealous of that because they wish that they were able to do that. But with women, it's different with us because of how we're built. Because we are the main part of the creation. We make the world do something different. So we gotta act accordingly. We have to stand into our position. Hi, Moon Raven, how are you? I'm sorry I missed you. What's up? Welcome. How are you doing? Just talking about women in leadership, how we just run it. We be running it back. And how I'm getting ready to what is it? What else I was about to do? Binge watch Lovecraft Country. I was trying out some new makeup today. I took some pictures. This is at the end. I did what I wanted to do. I took some photos. I shared them. And I'm going to take my makeup off now. And I'm going to watch Lovecraft Country. I'm looking very much forward to doing that. I wanted some ice cream, but I'm just going to drink some water. I'm going to drink some water because I'm going to have wine tomorrow. I don't want to clog my system. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Got to take it easy in these streets, too. We have to take it very, very much easy. Women, we need to also, too, just seriously, we already realize, seriously, we're already doing it. If we're already doing it and we're already, constantly doing it, as a lot of women are building empires. Women are building empires right now. After everything, after all the suppression, all that, women are building empires right now. And despite You still got the world constantly on our backs about what we wear, how we talk, what we how we dress, um, all of these things, and we're still doing it. We're still doing it. We're still doing it. So saying that to say, like, don't think like that. Understand that we're not living where we need to let go of that past life of how things used to be back in 1950, 1960, 1970, 1980, 1990. Oh, I love you. We're gonna be together forever. Tell a baby. No, that life does not exist anymore. I think that's what a lot of people are having a problem with, because it's really a delusion now at this point. Like, that life is an illusion. It's no longer. People really need to get to themselves, spend time with themselves, figure out what is going on, what's wrong, what your life purpose is, and go after it, instead of trying to create relationships of codependency amongst two people. For what? To build what? In what world? There is no world right now except for the one that you create. Run that back. Run that back. There is no world right now except for the one that you create. So otherwise, you're living like you just like at the you at the crossroads right here, bro. Sitting there like waiting on that R&B love to come, and it ain't coming. And I'm saying that not to like rain on anybody's parade, but it's just reality. Because people are not disciplined right now. You know, the male species is not very disciplined right now when it comes to their sexual nature. They are not disciplined. And I say they are not disciplined because, I mean, they the ones that come up with the laws, and they, like I said, they don't never, they don't make no laws to protect the women and the children, and they always letting the offenders go, or they don't even get slaps on the wrist, like, cause prison, like, man, come on. I don't even get all up into that because it's not what this is about, but it kind of is though. But it just really depends on, like I said, what your purpose is. People need to seriously just get to themselves and find out, like, why am I here? Why am I here? What am I supposed to be doing? How can I contribute in a positive way to society? And you contributing to society is not working a 9 to 5, finding a spouse, having sex, creating a child that y'all was never mentally, emotionally, or spiritually prepared for ever. Nobody never taught us that. Nobody. No, that's not where we're at. Hi, how are you? Welcome in. We live in 2026 where we know that there is some serious stuff going on and we should be focused on that. But see me, I got mind control. I got mind control. And I'm trying to teach y'all mind control. You gotta have mind control. You understand? You gotta get with that mind control. Yes, I'm glad you're doing good. Yes, you gotta get on having some mind control, because if you don't have no mind control, then you're gonna keep living in a loop and you're gonna keep living in a loop. Now, let me tell you something. Because a lot of people be scared. They be scared. And I'm going to tell you right now, once you get out the loop and you realize that your world is what you created to be, once you get out of that loop, you going to come into this space of, like, imagine, like, some weird sci-fi moment, and it's just this big ass space, and it's like, oh my God, what do I do? But this space is freedom. It's like outside. It's not on the inside. It's on the outside. And you're like, okay, I finally made it. I finally made it to the promised land. Now what? You're by yourself. So now you have to listen. Now you don't have no distractions when you are sitting with yourself. When you're not focused on trying to find love or trying to satisfy lust, when you're sitting with yourself, you're just like, oh wow, like now you're getting to know who you are because you never knew who you are because you're always clicking up with somebody else, you know? Mm-hmm. 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 Hey, how you doing? Where am I from? Somewhere in America, child. Somewhere in America. But seriously, that's why I say like women's like, come on now. Come on. We got the power. We got a lot of power. We got a lot of P power and we gotta put it on what it is. The thing about it is the way society is now, like how everything is in like the media, like the movies, and then like the way like okay, so when we was kids, I won't say we were kids, but movies in general, like all movies, like in Hollywood, that we watched, it's a baseline, it's a storyline, it's the same storyline. I mean, like you catch you a few movies here and there, but to stay on point, it's just one storyline. When you get the romance, oh, it's the guy and the girl and the guy they break up. When the girl and the guy break up, the girl she find a new man within like 36 hours and they're like madly in love, and then the old dude realizes that he messed up, but the new dude, he's just this great guy that just came down like Jesus Christ and saved this lady. And then like we've been watching movies like that and we be literally thinking, and I notice how people like are so hypersexual, constantly getting out of relationship, out of relationship, out of relationship. That's why I say women, we've been in leadership for a long time. We gotta, girl, keep it to yourself. No, it's not even that serious right now. You know what it is. We know what it is. But we've basically been taught when you done with somebody, go get with somebody else or be with somebody. And if that person is, not doing what you want them to do, then be plotting to be getting with somebody else immediately after. Like, it's not normalized that when something has not worked out between two people that you separate and you take time to figure out what it is that you need to be done, especially people that have been in abusive relationships or relationships where they were being chronically cheated on. Like, you was in a relationship where you were being chronically cheated on and then you turn around and get with somebody else immediately. 9 times out of 10 you get with somebody else who's going to also chronically cheat on you, because it's like you can kind of smell that on you. Like it's heavy energy stuff going on with that. That's why I say women, if we just, it has nothing to do at this point with money. It has nothing to do with what somebody can do for you. It has to do with you preserving life, preserving your life, preserving your legacy, not just for yourself, but for the sake of humanity. Like, keep it to yourself right now. Because what you giving it up for? For what? For what? Because these folks don't know what they doing. They don't know what they're doing. All they know is, what's that? What they call it? Corn hub? Child. That's all they know. So that's what they think is, that's what they think is, that's what they think is happening. And that's why a lot of people, have a huge issue with it. That's why it's a huge problem, because people really are addicted to that. Like, it's not normal to watch that. Like, it's really not. I don't care what anybody says. That is not normal. It is not normal to watch people perform intercourse. That is a sacred time. It is a sacred ritual between two humans that are equally yoked, that are spiritually bonded to each other, that are emotionally bonded to each other.